All right, hello, welcome to week 3 of Brandmotion Tech Talks. I'm gonna start sharing my screen and we will get going. There we go. Start presenting. All right, so this week we're gonna be focusing on the tailgate removal product line. Let's get started. So we're going to do a quick introduction, product category overview. We're going to touch on the features, advantages, and benefits of the tailgate removal category. We're going to touch on the availability we have, which consists of Ford, GM, which is the Chevrolet truck, and Ram trucks. Lastly, we want to close it out by showing you some of the resources and tools we have available at Brandmotion when it comes to finding parts or disseminating information. And then we'll wrap things up. It should be a pretty brief webinar today, probably right around 15 minutes if I had to guess. So getting started, who we've got on the call today, my name's Adam DeGroat. I'm an account manager here at Brandmotion. Been here for a little bit over a year now. And then I'm also joined with Zach Seidel.
Hello, everyone. I'm one of the technical sales and support managers here at Brandmotion, here to help you guys if you have any questions with any of the tailgate removal products, or if there's any technical support issues that you guys come across with any Brandmotion product.
Yep, so kind of our dynamic here today is I'm here to just kind of help you figure out how to sell these parts, and Zach is my go-to source on knowledge of all things Brandmotion parts. So if you guys come up with any questions after the show today, feel free to send it over to myself or Zach, and we'll be happy to assist you. You'll see there, I'm at extension 708 if you call into the Brandmotion number, and Zach's at extension 749. And then at the end of the slide today, you'll see another slide with our contact information on it. So feel free to reach out to us and we'd be happy to help. All right, so a little bit of the company overview. The team we're looking at right here is the Brandmotion account relationship team that we're both a part of. However, we do have several other departments within Brandmotion, including returns, tech support, accounting, in-house product development. So we do have engineers who work in-house and help us create the parts that we sell, warehouse and shipping. We do have a wire harness building area in the building where we do some of our own wire harness building. And lastly, we do have a separate half of the business outside of 12-volt safety equipment. We also have a part of the business called connected vehicles, where we partner with self-driving and autonomous vehicle companies like tier 1 automotive suppliers in the Detroit area to achieve their goals. So if you want to learn more about the company or see what all we have to offer, if you follow this link or go to Brandmotion, there is a drop-down box to learn more about the company. So I would encourage you, if you'd like to learn more, check out the website. There's a lot of information there. So getting into what we're going to be covering today, it's going to be the towing cameras section of the price guide, and in specific, the tailgate replacement cameras. So what are these for? When you take the truck bed off of a truck, and you still need to tap into that existing factory harness that's in there to use a backup camera, that's what these are for. So pretty easy install, pretty affordable price point, and they're a highly, highly popular product for us, especially within the last year. We've seen a pretty big uptick in these cameras, and they've been doing pretty well for us. So as I mentioned earlier, the 3 makes we have coverage for is going to be your Ford, Ram, and Chevy trucks. Pretty much the bread and butter of the truck market within the United States. So really the breakdown of these, you'll see, several different part numbers here. Each camera availability is either going to come in one of 2 styles. There's a license plate mount or a bullet mount. So we'll break down what availability we have and then what part number designates a bullet or a license plate camera. So getting into the features, advantages, and benefits, this one slide will actually cover all of the cameras we see here, as they're pretty much the same camera in each unit, just a slightly different mounting style or connector type. So all of them are going to feature a CMOS camera, which is a high quality camera, great for any backup scenario. They all feature an IP68 rating with a waterproof case and anti-fog lens. They all are under the same 1-year warranty. All of them use their own respective OEM connector, so each part will have a different connector determined by the vehicle that it's compatible with. They all have 480p resolution, automatic white balance, and a wide field of view. The field of view does vary slightly from model to model. but they're pretty much all within the range of 100 degrees vertical and 150 to 170 degrees horizontal for the viewing angle. Lastly, an important note to point out is the 18-foot harness. The harness length can be a limiting factor for some people, so just something to note. Lastly, it does have a, or I should say, they have an electric auto iris. So what that means is it operates somewhat like our pupil does, where your pupil would change in different levels of light. So with this camera, so if you're in a really dark environment, the iris of the camera opens up more to let more light in, or if it's an extremely bright environment, the iris would close slightly to let less light in. So getting right into the compatibility, the first make we'll be talking about today is Ford. So as you'll see here on the left are our bullet camera options, and on the right is the license plate options. So why do we have these separated? For some, you can't use a license plate option, or a bullet camera is the only option. Or for others, some people might just have a preference to the license plate and not the bullet. So we really just want to give the consumer the option to both the bullet and the license plate. So you'll see as we move down, the compatibility will be the same. So we've got a bullet camera option and a license plate camera option for the 2011 through the 2016 Ford Super Duty model. Again, we just give you the option to choose what camera style you'd like. So if you'll see in the bullet cameras, they're pretty much all going to be the 7.5 designation. That's just one easy way to tell that it's a bullet camera if you're ordering. And then in the license plate, you'll see 7.4. So not a big deal, but just something to look out for that makes it easier when you're picking out parts. So for the 2011 to 2016, the two part numbers we have are the 7540 for a bullet, the 7440 for a license plate mount. And then the 2017 through 2019 Super Duty is going to be the 7552 or the 7452.
Let me hop in.
Zach's going to interject here real quick.
And guys, real quick, we've seen a couple of different iterations on the Ford Super Duties for 2017 to 2019. Now, the real quick and easy way is if you've got one of these trucks in your shop that you're looking to relocate that camera. Again, all the Clevites for all of these is they have to have a factory backup camera. If not, you're going to have to track down a dealership to do a flash or add one of our modules in. We have all of this information in the compatibility tab, okay? But again, specifically talking about the 2017 to 2019 Ford Super Duties, you really need to look at the connector. So as you can see right on the screen that we have portrayed right now, the 17 to 19 Super Duties use what we call a stacked 3-on-3 plug. Okay, so it's still going to be 6 pins, but it's 3-on-3. We have seen in some of the 2019s and the 2020 models, they go back to the flat 6 connector as shown in the 7440 and 7540 camera plugs. Those cameras will function in those 19s and 20s, okay? It's very, very important that you go and take a look of the exact connector that's on the vehicle so we can make sure that you get the direct right camera the first time. Additionally, on the 2018 and 2019 F-150s, okay, for some reason, the left ear that is just a locator ear for the connector to plug in, sometimes you do have to shave that off of the factory connector on the truck to be able to get it to fit in nice and snug. And again, the camera will function. We did just a live test this last weekend that we have compatibility up until 2019 on the 7446 and the 7546.
Mm-hmm. So to Zach's point, when dealing with this product, it's always important to just double check what the camera connector looks like in the vehicle. One, to verify that it's there, as we do need it to access the factory screen, and two, just to verify that it looks the same as the connector pictured here or on our website. So in a little bit, we'll show you how to access the website and see the compatibility Zach was just referencing. So we do have a pretty wide coverage of the Super Duty, and then we've got about 3 years of coverage on the F-150 with the 7546 and the 7446. So Ford is definitely our largest coverage. It's the most popular truck brand on the road, has been for some time. It's a large portion of our sales is a Ford truck. So definitely something that we have more coverage of. As you'll see, as we move on to Chevrolet, we just have 2 options, a bullet and a license plate mount style for the model years of 2016 to 2018 in the Silverado 1500 body style. So as you can see there, that's a 4-on-4 stack, 8-pin connector, Zach. Yep. So we've got the bullet on the left, your license plate on the right. So again, if you're ever servicing these trucks, just go ahead and take a look at that factory connector to make sure that it matches what we have pictured here. So 6 options for Ford, we got 2 options for Chevy, and then 4 options for Ram. So within Ram, we've got coverage on the 2013 to 16, 1500 through 3500. So the compatibility is much more forgiving in Ram, being that we're not stuck into just the 1500 like in Silverado. This is going to be compatible with your 1500 through the 3500s through 13 and 16. Lastly, we do have the 2017 through 2018 in the 1500 through 3500, in the 7553 and the 7453. So really, there's not a whole lot that differentiates these parts other than the connectors. But I'm going to let Zach jump in for one other point here.
Yep. One more quick point on the Rams. Okay, we have identified in tech support that occasionally you'll run into a situation where you're going to put on, say you're on a 13, a 2016 or 2017, and you're going to plug in the connector. You've ordered the one that we properly show on our website as being for that year. And for some reason, the connector you get in the box is the exact same connector on the truck. Okay, we've identified this. This is an issue with the FCA production lines. In some instances, they do flip-flop the connector, in which case the very simplest thing you can do is, let's say you've got a 2013 and it's got the opposite end of the connector. You order the 7453 or the 7553, which is for the 2017. They are the flipped connector, okay? That will be the quickest and easiest way for you to get your customers on the road.
Mm-hmm. And so what he means by the connector type is the male versus female. So if you have 2 males, then obviously we need to do something to get a male and female to be able to mate as a connector type. So this is our coverage, just to go through one more time. 6 total part numbers for Ford, 2 total part numbers for Chevy, and then we got 4 total part numbers for Ram. So moving on beyond that, that's pretty much all we have to cover for the tailgate removal cameras. But what we wanted to spend some time on is how to find this information. So first and foremost, something that we have featured on our website. If you're on the Brandmotion website, here's a picture of right up at the top of the page what it should look like. If you do, or if you click on search by vehicle, what this will launch is the Brandmotion vehicle configurator created by AAC. So simply press the button, select your make. So let's say we're trying to find a tailgate removal camera for a Ford F-150. I'd select the Ford logo. I'd pick my model year. Let's say it's 2016. Select the model. Maybe it's a Super Duty or an F-150. Select the trim. Not as important for our configurator, but it can limit some items that are selected. So try to get the trim as close to what you have knowledge to. If you don't have the trim offhand, not a huge deal. Just select your best guess. Beyond that, a non-essential selection is the color. Merely just for aesthetics. If you follow through, it'll show an example of what the car looks like. So for my example of the F-150, if I selected blue, it would show a picture of a blue F-150. Red would show a red F-150. Then you'll be selecting the category. So as you're going into the vehicle configurator, let's say I'm looking for parking sensors. Then I would choose my parking sensors button right here and see what products we have available. Or maybe it was wireless charging. So you're going to select your category, and then number 8, if necessary, you'll select a subcategory. So the example of that is, let's say I select backup cameras. Maybe it's going to make me choose between universal or vehicle specific. Lastly, it'll just show all the products we have available once you've gone through all the required fields. So just to recap real quick, if you do need help finding information on the Brandmotion website, go to the Brandmotion Vehicle Configurator at the top of the homepage of Brandmotion and follow the steps you see here to find the part you're looking for. Secondly, this is something that people who've been with Brandmotion for a while are a little bit more familiar with. This is our application guide. It's a lot better at finding you quick answers if you need them on the fly. So let's say you've got someone on the phone or they know the exact make and model they have. They just need to know what part number they need. This would be an easy way by following this Google Drive, or there's a couple places on our website you can find the application guide. Just use the Control F or Command F function on your computer to search the part or the vehicle you're looking for. So continuing the example I had just given of a 2016 F-150, I'd do the Control F, F-150. I'd say, what am I looking for here? Let's look at camera interfaces. I need a dual camera interface and a value camera backup camera. So then I would find the 2 part numbers I need in the corresponding columns. So 2 ways to find information. 1, going through the vehicle configurator, or 2 is the application guide. Lastly, here's some instructions on the application guide, highlighting what I had just mentioned. And then what Zach had been first mentioning when he was talking earlier about the compatibility on a product page is if you just go to the Brandmotion website, this is where you're going to find the most information in one area. If you type in the part number that you're looking for, or select just in the product category groups here, if you don't know what the exact part number is, clicking through this should help you find the part you're looking for. But then that's where you're going to find in-depth features, integration, camera specifications, compatibility, any special notes we have about the part. So for the example of a tailgate removal, it may tell you, this is only compatible when there was an existing factory backup camera. If there's not an existing factory backup camera, you'll need to add one and add a factory display interface. So it'll put all your important notes like that. So something I do every day and something I'd recommend to you all. If you're trying to learn more about a part, type in the part number on the Brandmotion website. We've been updating this information a lot recently, so maybe you'll see some new information or learn something new. So the 3 main ways we're highlighting here: 1, vehicle configurator, if you don't know what you're looking for and you just need help finding a part. 2, application guide, if you've got a little bit of information and need a quick answer. 3, Brandmotion website, if you're looking for kind of a deep dive in information or to find availability, pictures, install instructions. Those are all accessible off of the Brandmotion website as well. So want to say thank you. It's been a pretty brief call today. Not a whole lot of part numbers to talk about in the tailgate removal product category, but it is an extremely high moving product. It's an exciting product, one that we do very well with, and we'd love you all to do well with as well. So feel free to contact myself or Zach if you'd like more information on the products, or if you have any questions about today's presentation. I could also email this presentation to anyone who's looking for it. So if you want to be able to reference our slides back here, so oh, I've got a Ford truck coming in today, let me see what I've got available for Brandmotion parts to put in there. I can send this to you guys so it's nice and easy and broke down to reference a part number. I'll leave it on this slide to let you guys write down any contact information you may need, but thank you so much for joining today. Hope you can join next week, same time, 2 p.m. Thursday Eastern time, and we'll be doing another tech talk for you. So Zach, you want to say bye to everyone?
Bye, everyone.
All right, guys, have a nice day.